music at the link below. Shout out to our Patreon community. If you want to get free music and free behind the scenes footage, make sure you check us out at patreon.com. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next one. It's a beautiful new day. Hey.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's gone top of the hour. We're going to start with a very incredible illustration of what we have our hands on for the next up to 10 years, they say. So a 10-year rollout plan for the fabulous Aurum platform. So we're going to take a quick look at that video and then we'll get started with our presentation. Thank you all guests for attending, particularly those of you that are new for the first time. You're very, very welcome. Please pay attention to this video that's coming up. It's quite sensational. The roadmap, the vision of Mr. Brian Benson and what he intends to achieve. So let's have a listen.
February 2023. The world was still living by the old financial logic, but we pressed start. We wanted to create an ecosystem that would unite artificial intelligence and finance to make asset management simple, scalable, and secure. That's how Aurum was born. The starting point was EXAI Bot, the first AI-powered trading solution, an algorithm that laid the foundation for an entire era. From that moment, we began expanding at the speed of light. We built and are implementing a vision that includes trading AI bots, exchanges, neobank, crypto cards, and real-world asset tokenization, official registration in Hong Kong, and the first features in global media. The creation of Aurum Neobank, the launch of Zeus AI Bot, and the flash loan license surpassing $1 million in profits. The opening of our headquarters in Dubai, where hundreds of industry leaders gathered. The world started to talk about us. We were featured by Binance, Benzinga, Crypto Reporter, and Blockchain Wire. Forbes called us the new infrastructure of global finance, but this is no time to pause. We're gaining momentum. We launched Aurum Academy, strengthen our team, and appoint Brian Benson, a professional with 27 years of experience, as our CEO. Global events in Vietnam, Dubai, and Antalya, thousands of cards sold, and the launch of the AI agent ecosystem. Today, we stand on the stage of Token 2049 Singapore, alongside the leaders of Binance, Tether, KuCoin, and Tron. And this moment once again proves Aurum is a global ecosystem of worldwide scale. But the most important part, this is only the beginning. The next decade will be one of expansion. In 2025 to 2026, we bring Aurum Neobank to the mass market. Hundreds of thousands of users, millions of transactions. The launch of Aurum Exchange, which reaches $5 billion in trading volume within its first year. AI bots manage over $100 million in assets. The first 5,000 cash-in and withdrawal terminals appear. Aurum establishes its presence in 10 countries and secures its position in the global market. In 2027 to 2028, we raise the bar. Neobank reaches 2 million users and 1.5 million cards. During this period, Aurum DEX, a next-generation decentralized exchange, launches. Personalized AI-based services emerge. Credit scoring and capital management. The first RWA deals worth $500 million are integrated. The terminal network expands to 20,000 points across 20 countries. By 2029, Neobank evolves into a super app. Flight bookings, taxis, car rentals, food delivery, while transactions exceed $20 billion. Aurum DEX cements its position within the ecosystem with $5 billion in trading volume, becoming a key element of Aurum's DeFi direction. AI agents operate for hundreds of thousands of businesses, and RWA grows to $5 billion. Aurum becomes an ecosystem that accompanies users every day. In 2030 to 2033, we reach global scale. Neobank's user base hits 12 million and over 10 million cards. Inside the super app, 15 to 20 integrated services and partnerships with 500 global brands. Aurum Exchange reaches $90 billion in trading volume and enters the top 10 global crypto exchanges. The terminal network expands to 100,000 plus locations across 50 plus countries. The annual Aurum Global Summit gathers 5,000 leaders. By 2033 to 2035, Aurum Neobank enters the top 5 global neobanks with a valuation of $10 billion plus. Aurum Exchange remains in the top 10, while Aurum DEX surpasses $20 billion in trading volume. AI manages over $5 billion in assets, and RWA exceeds $20 billion. We are present in 75 countries, with 1,000 global partners and over 100,000 terminals. The Aurum Global Summit brings together 10,000 industry leaders. Aurum becomes the symbol of a new financial era, a system that made finance accessible to everyone, a story that has already transformed the industry, and a future that already belongs to us.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on this presentation. Let's get underway. Let me just take a quick look at the guest list. And 1818-243-1966. That's the first name up here. So I guess if you use a digit, you hit the number one. So welcome to the call. A's on the call. A just by himself. A Ray is on the call. Abby's on the call. Abasid is on the call. Alpha D, yeah, you're always here on the call. Welcome to the call, Andrew. Thanks for joining us. And Andy's here as well, as is Annalise, as well as Ava. Welcome to the call. Now, Aopeju, Toyin. Glad you're challenging me tonight. Bassarat is in the call. Thank you for joining us. Bjorn, how are you, sir? Champ's here. Chris is here. As always, Comfort's here. Corey's here. Oh, great, great, great. Dee's here. Daniel's here. Darren's here. David's here. Another David's here. And another. Oh, we've got 3 Davids. Unless David, we've got 4 Davids. David must be sending out the link. David must be sending out the link. The same David. I thought you couldn't join 3 times, so I don't know how that is. You know, you'd have to be David something or David A, David B, David S. But we've 3 or 4 Davids here. I don't know how you did that. And I think it's the same one unless you're logging in on a phone and logging in on a phone and a computer. Maybe that's why. All right, let's keep going. Don't you hear Dr. Money? Long time no see, Dr. Money. Thank you. Welcome to the call. Some big representation here tonight from Nigeria, from Dubai, from United Kingdom, from Ireland. I see he's in the house. Where else? Harold, how are you? I think that's if that's the Harold I think it is, it's possibly Norway. A lot of Scandinavian affiliates coming on board now. Honest's in the call, and as Hortense is on the call as well as this Ibim and Ebok is. Oh, she's always here. iPhone. I knew you'd be here. iPhone 2, iPhone. Oh my goodness, lots of iPhones. iPhone guest, iPhone, iPhone. And it's in the numbers is back. James Bond's here. Hi, James. Jason's here. Jeremy's here. By the way, guys, there's 198. We've just broke our record. Well done to you guys. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm skipping loads of them. And I'm sure there's names you don't want called out. Maybe you're here as a private guest, so I must be respectful for that as well. Martin, welcome to the call. Thank you. Good to see you. Mela, yeah, we spoke to Mela just about an hour ago. Thank you for joining us. Nikki's here. Paul's here. I'm missing loads. Let's go down to the bottom. Robert, how are you? Stevie's here. Wayne's here. Vincent's here. Let's go down to the bottom. Zoom user. Yeah, I thought you'd be here, Zoom user. I knew you'd be here. Do you know what I don't see? Samsung. We're at Samsung. Oh, dear. The reason I do that is to give you guys just an inkling of who might be here as your guest attendant. You're not alone. Some people think they're alone because we don't show the names. We don't show the names purposely, just for a little bit of privacy that somebody's maybe logging in, having a look for the first time, maybe don't want mentioned. But I just want you to know that it's very important to contact your guest well in advance of the event, even 30 minutes ago. And just remind them that the call starts at the top of the hour and to get to a quiet place in the house, maybe to grab pen and paper. So pen and paper is always very important when you've got your Aurum diary. It's very important to take some notes. Go to a quiet place in the house. Turn off all distractions. You know, I tell the kids, get off that Wi-Fi. Hey, no, turn off that. I need this for an hour. I don't want any interruptions because technology can let us down, guys. The internet can let us down. And I just try to get the bandwidth as maximum as possible because I have 6 kids and I don't know. I think there's a TV in every room and I don't even watch television. I don't even know how to turn on a television. I do. There's a little button you press, but it just comes up and then I don't know how to find a channel or what's what. So I decided to stop watching television a long time ago. A mentor told me that It's very difficult to make money watching TV. Very difficult to make money watching TV. So I kind of agreed with that, and I don't watch TV. And I don't read newspapers. I've never bought a newspaper. But anyway, I don't think they even do newspapers anymore. That's all right. Okay, let's get moving. Record. Well, thank you so much for joining us on our presentation today. It's a pleasure to see you here, and thank you for taking your valuable time out to evaluate an opportunity that maybe a friend, a colleague, maybe even a stranger has invited you here to take a look at this information. And they thought of you. Mostly when someone sees an opportunity like this, they have a few people in mind. Wow, Dave would like this, Helen would like this, John would like this, Ebok would like this. Yeah. You start writing out a list of names and saying, I must get their opinion. And that's all we're asking. We're only asking for your opinion. We're not trying to sell you anything. Actually, we have nothing for sale. Nobody here has anything for sale. We can't provide you with a product because we don't have the product. What we do is we refer you to a website, and the company Aurum themselves handle the products. They deal with the website. They look after everything. So, so with that said, I just have a little visitor here. Hello. Visitor just came in the door there. You probably heard them scrambling. She's very intelligent. She came into my office door there. She was able to do that. So let's get the show on the road here. So let's talk about first of all, I don't work for the company. I'm not I don't get paid for presenting the information. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you any advice in respect of this. But what I can do is I can share with you my findings, my opinions, and they're solely mine. And of course, my dad used to say, you're old enough, you're big enough, and you're ugly enough to make your own decisions. So I said, okay. So with that said, do seek professional advice when you're making any business decisions. And that's always very good to do. Now, what I liked when I first saw this was the people behind it. That was very important to me. Who are we dealing with here? And when I realized that Brian Benson was the CEO and a big stakeholder in this opportunity, I went, this is great. So Brian Benson from California, when he left school, went into the banking industry. He became a trader that's foreign currencies, Forex. He was a trader at Morgan Stanley, a very reputable bank. And he was very successful there. And when he left Morgan Stanley Bank, he went to work for Binance. And he also, Binance, he did great. He became a director over in Binance. And he was instrumental in developing the whole South American region. Now, because he was from California, there was a big Spanish influence, I suppose, Mexican influence for that language down there. And his job was to go down into Mexico and open up that market, open the Brazilian market. I don't know, does he speak Portuguese, but he opened Colombia, Peru, Chile, Argentina, big markets, and was very, very successful for Binance. Brian had to go down and do the due diligence, do any of the banking relationships that were important. He had to open the offices, onboard clients. He was also involved in technology. He's a techie guy too, pretty good at building technology. He's kind of a good all-rounder and has good comprehension of the industry. He's very well got in Web3. Many interviews have been done on Brian. I'm not going to say he's famous, but if you're in Web3, people know him. So that's what he's famous. But he's not a movie star or an actor or a singer. That's a different type of fame. So now he's the director, not the director, the CEO, the chief executive officer here at Aurum. I did a quick Google on him. As you probably would. I typed in Brian Benson Binance just to see what would come up. And I was pleasantly surprised. I saw him all over Google. And that's great news, guys. A lot of nice positive reviews. You can see him here when he was much younger. He's either 51 or 52. Certainly when he started here, he was 51. I don't know, has he had a birthday, but that'll give you an idea of his age. I also think that's a little bit important too. He's not some new whiz kid that's trying to attempt something or to design technology. He's a man, a mature man. He's a lot of experience, and this is not his first rodeo, because in building out Binance, that would give us a lot of confidence, thinking, well, if he's done it there, he's certainly got the ability probably to do it over here as well. So with that said, the next thing I was able to find out 2 or 3 different articles where Forbes had been writing. There's one article where they raised, was it $12 million or $12.5 million in a fundraise to launch the company. And that set them up with a valuation of $100 million. Now, this is long before I'd heard of it. And they had a lot of venture capitalists and high net worth individuals and what they call accredited investors. That's the area they worked in. And it says it here for Forbes. Forbes is saying Aurum provides institutional grade trading. Well, institutional grade trading is done by the banking fraternity. It's got a different type of risk profile on the trading, probably different licensing and regulations. I'm not sure about that, but it's a different category. Northern Rock and not Northern Rock. What do you call that big one? Black Rock. Black Rock. Northern Rock's gone. Oh dear. That was back in 2008 or 2009 or back in the last crisis. But BlackRock is a very, very famous institutional grade trading system, and a lot of the big banking world use this type of trading. It's not like the Wild West of trading where somebody at home's doing it. It's more governance on it, and I'm glad to see that. The next thing that impressed me was, of course, the Visa card, and the issuing bank obviously has done its due diligence. It would need to know who are the founders, who are the directors, who are the shareholders. They would have documentation from Aurum to decide, their offices, their licenses, before they would jump into bed with them and allow them to co-brand. It's very difficult to have the Visa name and your name on the same piece of plastic. It's only big guys can do that, and certainly that would suggest that Aurum is certainly a reasonable outfit that obviously Visa would allow them to co-brand. So that was important for me as well. And then the last piece was the fact that they were speaking at the world's largest cryptocurrency or Web3 conference in the world, the biggest blockchain summit. That was held at the beginning of October, the same time as the Formula One was going on in Singapore. Brian Benson, our CEO, was speaking on stage. There were 25,000 people paid to get into that. And on the last day, I believe they were selling tickets at $1,400 to get in. So, whether it was Bon Jovi or Tina Turner or the Rolling Stones, I wouldn't pay $1,400 to go and see anybody. So it just shows you the type of people that would pay that to go to an event like this. They were obviously cryptocurrency. They're in that space. And Brian was speaking alongside his friend, Richard Tang. Richard and Brian worked together in Binance. And the CEO at that point was a guy called CZ. And when CZ moved on, Richard got the job at Binance as CEO, and then Brian took the job over here at Aurum. And they're not competing it's very difficult to compete with Binance. But certainly Brian is going to give it a rattle. He's going to emulate them as best he can with the Aurum token, with the blockchain, with the exchange that he's going to open. He's going to open 2 exchanges, a centralized exchange, and you've probably heard that in the video, and a decentralized exchange, which is quite interesting as well. Now, there was about 500 people last month were privileged to see some of the first trades going on that exchange. It was in beta test. It's not ready for release yet. But I must tell you that if you're watching here now in November 2025, we are in pre-launch of this event, and the company launches officially in Dubai on the 17th of January 2026. So the timing couldn't be any better for you, because the pioneering stage is a little bit bumpy, the pioneering stage, because this is when they're ironing out all the wrinkles. This is when they're testing the card providers. They're testing the web servers. Even last week, they did an upgrade on their servers to help with the speed and the onboarding of clients. So some of you might have witnessed that. So this is the testing phase, and in preparation for its launch in January. So it's a tough time, but it's also a good time, because it's like getting into Bitcoin in the early days, or BNB. BNB, the Binance token, was 8 cents when it launched, and today it's over $1,100. So if we're getting this opportunity, in the early days, If you're an early adopter, this is for you. If you're not an early adopter and everything has to be perfect, well, come back and see us next year and see how we're doing. But right now, we're looking for pioneers, we're looking for leaders, we're looking to build customer base to assist with for an exchange to be successful. It needs lots of clients. Okay, so one route to market is this affiliate program that they have, where they can onboard lots of customers. Now, Binance did this as well. When Brian worked for Binance, I think they paid something like $5 if you referred a customer to the Binance platform. You got $5 added to your account. You could do what you want without it, trade it or withdraw it. So they're using that same affiliate type model, and they want to onboard thousands and thousands of customers. So when the exchange launches, there's trading volumes, there's dispersity of wallets and members all around the world. And then when the token eventually launches, that's going to be interesting as well. The success of any token or coin would be dependent and determined on its utility and its use case. And if you have hundreds of thousands of users around the world using it, then that moves things along very nicely. So that's a little bit about the background, the company as best I know it. Of course, you must do your own homework, your own due diligence. But what also I liked was in that first video that you probably saw before watching this particular presentation, it did a roadmap for the next 10 years, which was quite exciting. If you listen to that carefully and the numbers and their anticipations, their expectations, it's an ecosystem that they're building, not just an exchange. They have the Visa card. They have they're building this point of sale terminal where shopkeepers and merchants can accept the traditional fiat currency that we're familiar with, but also this cryptocurrency. So these terminals need to be adopted, and that will help build a merchant and a customer base over there. They're also developing ATM machines, and these are two-way ATM machines. So you can either put cash into them to get crypto sent to your wallet, or if you want cash, you create a QR code on your application, you scan it to the ATM machine. Let's say you needed $200, and let's say you had Bitcoin, so you check, I want $200, and you're selling your Bitcoin, so you sell it, you scan the machine. The machine reads that and takes the Bitcoin and pays you out the cash. So it's two-way, crypto in for cash out, or cash in for crypto out, a two-way ATM machine. So these are exciting products, physical products, like the card is physical. There is a digital element to some of their products. And whilst we're talking about the future, let's talk about this product. And I think this is going to be sensational. It's not a trading product, so I assume there's no risk over here at all, because this is what's called liquidity staking. Very, very popular today. And what you could do is, let's say you had a little bit of Bitcoin or a little bit of Ethereum or XRP, and it's doing nothing. You're not increasing it. You don't want to trade it. You don't want to risk it. You could stake it here. And here's the good news. You could stake it for an hour or 2 hours or a day or 4 days or a week or a month. It's not locked in for a period of time. But the yield, the annual yield, is going to reveal somewhere in the region of 17%, up to 20% a year. Now, you might think, well, that's not very good, because you've heard about these bots that are producing that even almost in a month. Well, that's trading. This is not trading. This is acting as a liquidity provider for this exchange. And I think this is going to be a great product for traditional business people who are, they're not adverse to risk at all. They just want to park up their money, and if they need it, they can take it out. I think this is going to be great. This beats the banks. This beats real estate. A typical housing real estate program, you're likely to make about 10% yield a year on real estate if you're lucky. If you've got a good property in a good location, you'll probably get about 10% a year. If you're getting involved in commercial real estate, sometimes you might only get between 5 and 7% a year yield. So not a month, a year. And if you're involved in the gold industry, which I was for over 12 years, you probably typically would find gold would double its value every 10 years. So if it's doubling value every 10 years, it's doing about 10% in 1 year. 10 tens is 100%. So about 10% a year. A product like this, where you can park up your crypto and get between 17 and 20% a year, a lot of customers will use this. And that's going to be available very soon. But I'd like you now to listen to Brian himself rather than me, a short clip out of a longer interview And the important thing is to see, do you hear a visionary leader here? Do you find somebody that really wants to achieve something and he's looking to develop a unicorn company, looking to be $1 billion company, and he wants to create 1,000 millionaires in the process?
I think if I have to sum it up in one word, it's ecosystem. At Aurum, we're building an ecosystem, and we're really trying to focus on getting this thing to a unicorn status. And what I like to say is we want to create 1,000 millionaires. And so if we can do that, then that will be $1 billion business. That will be a unicorn, and we'll be very excited if we can accomplish that. And we're well on our way to that. So
there you go. He's already done it over at Binance, where he saw many, many, many individuals becoming not just millionaires, but multi-millionaires with this Web3 crypto stuff. And he just wants to do it himself now here over at Aurum. Now, let's get the bad news out of the way. There's no freebies here. Okay, of course, it'll be free to get on the exchange, but there's no freebies to join this particular platform. It's a subscription-based platform. So it's $20, $19.99 US dollars for the entire year. And the way I look at that, ladies and gentlemen, I look at it as I often say it's 4 cups of coffee, but if you're prepared to pay, thousands for a gym membership, or thousands for a golf course membership, here is $20 for an international fintech business. And this allows you to go in and use any of the products except the card. I'll talk about this later. So I think it's not a very big fee. I thought it would be a stumbling block when I first heard about it. So, but there's a reason. There's a reason for this $20. Number one, it keeps the company fluid without having to lean on other aspects of the business. As the business grows and the company grows, they may need more offices, more staff, more programmers, more customer support, more product development. So that's all a burden. But when each user is paying $20 for the year, and like Brian's talking about 100 million users, but let's take 1 million for starters. Well, there's 1 million times $20 is $20 million. And that's a fair budget to get a company and leave it solid. And it's scalable, because if we bring in 2 million customers, they get another $20 million. If they bring in 10 million customers, so you can see this model by itself is good for us as consumers, because we want a strong company that doesn't need to lean into the training pot and say, okay, we need to pay some bills over here. So I think this is very, very good. And of course, if any of you have already tried the system, you'll have this back in a day or two, depending on the product that you're using. Anyway, that said, let's take a look at some of the products. Now, they have a range of, I don't know how many, I actually should count them, but I'd say there's 6, 7, 8, or 9 products already available. I've only tried 3 or 4 of them, and those are the only ones I'll talk about. Now, this is my favorite, the EXI bot. It's been around for over 2 years. It's done exceptionally well. You can see in the screen there, since its launch up until the middle of October 25, it had done over 500%. Well, that's excellent. And you can see that there's almost $44 million in this bot. Now, they have one bot here, and they have 6 bots on Telegram that I'll talk about in a minute. But just in this one bot, they've at that point there, they had about $44 million. I know at the end of the month it was over $47 million. So I assume it's around about $50 million trading on this platform at the moment. So let's have a look at how the performance has gone. The performance, I believe, was the worst month they achieved was 9%, 9.3%. And the best month they achieved was 23%. So in the middle there, you'll find the mean average is about 17.5% on average per month. Now, that's not fixed. Obviously, things move, trading volumes change around, but on average, about 17.5%. And that's what the company's doing. You don't get that. I don't get that. What we get would be determined simply by the deposit we make into our own accounts. So let's hypothetically suggest you tried $172, right? You just had $172 there, so you tried that because there's no packages here. There's no $100, $500, $900, $1,000 package. It's like a banking system. You've got to think it is actually called the Aurum Neo Bank. Neo Bank means new bank, these new digital type banks. And you just make a deposit. So I made up a number there, $172. If that was your deposit, that would fall into the basic category. It's more than 100, but it's less than 249. So what you have here is you're going to be in the basic category, and those customers could enjoy benefits of approximately about 10% a month, which is very, very good. For those of you who can manage more than that, let's say you had $409. Well, $409 would place you into the standard category. So those customers will benefit at the tune of about 11%. For those of you who can do more than that, let's say you did $1,308. Well, that'll fall into the third category. It'll get 12%. So you kind of understand what's happening here. The bigger the deposit, the better the rewards that that account can achieve. Two things I will say for our new customers, just to understand, even if you started with a small account and you traded your way up beyond 249, you would automatically fall into the higher category at 11%. And alternatively, if you didn't want to trade up, but you wanted to make an additional deposit, which we call a top up, if you top up the account, then you can get to a higher category. And some people find themselves in that position that, you know, maybe at the end of the month they get their wages and they can afford to try another little bit, so they can top it up like that. But that's a little bit about that product. The other thing you've got to understand about this is the company's always making money here too, because if they're averaging 17.5% and you're only getting 10, can you understand that the company's making 7% on those accounts? So it's very, very lucrative for them. For those customers that enjoy 11%, the company still makes 6. For those that get 12, the company makes 5. So you can see all in all that the company's always in a positive cash flow situation. And that is important, very, very important for all of us. The other thing that was mentioned to me, actually it was Brian Benson asked me, he said, where did I think the majority of my customers would come from? You know, what was I thinking? Would they be greater than $5,000 customers, or would they be less? And I thought about it for a while. And I said, I suppose most customers are going to start somewhere between $100 and $4,999. I thought that would be the average getting started point. And he kind of agreed with me. He said he found that over Binance. People didn't understand it. They put in $100 and it sat there for 3 days before they pressed a button. And then all these kind of things were going on. But he said, if that is the case, that's our most profitable customer base. The lower customer is our most profitable customer base. He said the higher customer base has less customer support requirements. You know, they're accredited investors. They don't have the same questions. They're in this investment world. They understand it, so they have less management to deal with those. They actually do better. They get a better percentage. But all in all, I think if the majority of customers are in the lower categories, that means the company's always making lots and lots of money. So that's important. And finally, should I say, you can withdraw your profits anytime you want, any day, any profits that you're not trading, you can withdraw them any day and every day if you wish. And the withdrawal fees are very, very low. They're 1% plus $1. So I'd just like to share one account. Well, I have actually two to share with you tonight. But this particular one is I would call it a small account with $500. This account was opened, if you look on the left-hand side, on the 17th of April this year. And whilst it doesn't say it, I know that it was started with $500. Now, why does it say 882? Because if you look over on the right-hand side, we're now looking at this account on the 17th of September. So what actually we see on the screen here is a 5-month trading period from the 17th of April to the 17th of September is exactly 5 months. And this account has made $382. If it was started with 500, and now we can see there's 882, the profit is 382. Now, that's quite sensational. And I'll tell you why, because if you work out the math on it, you'll see that to calculate the percentage growth or the percentage profit, you take the profit element, which is 382, you place that over the top of the deposit, which was 500. So you divide that into that one, you multiply by 100%, and the numbers on the screen, guys, 76% in 5 months. So that's better than property. That's better than gold. You know, imagine you bought a property for $100,000 on the 17th of April, and you sold it on the 17th of September, 5 months later, for $176,000. Would that be good business? Buying something for $100,000, selling it for $176,000. You made $76,000 in 5 months. That's the analogy. Even though it was only a $500 account, it achieved 76%. I'm not sure what a $100 account achieved that, but it may not be far off it. Actually, if you look here, you can see the $100 accounts are going to get probably about 10%. And the over 200, less than 1,000, so 500 is over 250, but less than 1,000. So it was getting about 11%. But also, guys, it's compounded profits, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The next account I want to show you is a larger account, and this account was commenced on the 10th of April this year. And you can see account ending in 1972 at 11:05. I don't know, is that, maybe that's midnight and 11 minutes and 5 seconds past midnight. That's 00 at the front. Not that it's relevant, more relevant, it started on the 10th of April. And if we look on the right-hand side at 10:23, and again, I don't know, is that AM or PM, doesn't really matter, but from the 10th of April to the 16th of May, it's 1 day short of 5 weeks. And this account, the $10,000, is now sitting at 12,360. So effectively, it's enjoyed 23% in 5 weeks. Incredible. By the time the account was examined on the 24th of June, that represents a 10-week trading period. That same account had jumped up to $15,500. By the 10th of July, now representing 12 weeks, 3 months trading, the account's sitting at 17,471. So 10,000 in, 7,400 profit in just 3 months. And then the account actually doubled. The $10,000 became $20,000 4 months later. Just slightly over double. It was 20,392. Now, the reason for this is because this reinvestment button is engaged. When you open an account with this bank, they won't touch that. They won't engage that. That's your prerogative. That's up to you to find out where that button is if you want to engage it. When you open your account, it's not turned on. And therefore, if you open your account and send it to trade, what will happen is your profits will go to your wallet every day for withdrawal. It'll not stay on Binance. It'll not stay on KuCoin. It'll come onto your account for withdrawal purposes. It's only if you click that or slide that button on will the profit stay inside Binance and trade alongside your principal amount. And that's called the compounding effect. When your profit and principal work together to trade, that's where you get these higher performances. So just so you understand that, if you don't understand it, maybe go to YouTube and type in something like explain to me compounding interest or compounding profits, and those should be videos over there that'll explain exactly that principle. But it's known as the eighth wonder of the world. It's sensational. Warren Buffett spoke a lot about it, one of the world's largest or most successful investors of all time. That other guy, Einstein, was the guy that talked about the power of compounding. But in civilization, we don't really get access to that. It's been reserved for the rich and reserved for the wealthy and reserved for the banks. It's only now since Aurum have opened the doors to, this is called retail, the retail side of things, that people like ourselves can get advantage of this kind of opportunity. I just want to show you that we looked at account 19 ending in 1972, and if you look in the bottom right hand side, this is the 26th of October. So that account's now at 31,000. So the 10,000 went to 20,000 in 4 months. 2 months later, it went to 31,000. Isn't that incredible? So the power of compound is, some people call it the hockey stick. It's incredible. The $500 account that we looked at earlier, that was sitting at 882 at 76%, has now gone to 100%, over 100%. So it started on the 17th of April, and this was the 26th of October. Work that out yourselves, guys. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. We'll call it 6 months. That small account doubled in 6 months, but the big account not only doubled, but it did another 10,000 in the same time frame. Okay, so the bigger deposit gets the bigger rewards. And of course, now there's a couple of extra accounts here trading at 22,000, another 10,000, but we were only tracking those two accounts that we were looking at there. And this is not company data. This is just customers willing to share the information of real live accounts. So that's the first product. Sorry for spending so much time, but I think it's our flagship product. I think it's the best product there is. It's certainly my favorite, and I'm not here to persuade you or to encourage you, but it's certainly exciting a lot of customers. In July, you can see this product had done 17%, just over 17.61. In August, it did 18.3%, and I've just got the recent ones now. I think it was the accounts up to 47,000 was the least, was 47 million. There's 34 million trading in August. It's now it was 47 published, but I think the real result is now over $50 million. Now, there's a couple of other products I'd like to mention briefly, but you'll find these over on Telegram, a decentralized channel. One's called the ProBot, and the other's called the ZeusBot. There's actually October's results there coming in on the 17%, 17.47%, and you can see almost 48 million as of the 1st of November. So there we go. I wasn't too far away. 48 million. It's probably sitting around 50 million as we speak. Now, let's have a look at the ZeusBot. Now, the ZeusBot is found on Telegram. You go to Telegram, you type in Aurum Neobank, you open up the app. This is where you order your Visa card if you'd like one. And also over on this Telegram channel, you've got 6 bots over here. You've got the Pro bot. You can see the little blue above it, the little Pro. That's the Pro bot. And then you have 5 other currency pairs trading: Bitcoin, Doge, PEP-B, BNB, and Ethereum. Now, at this screenshot, we've only got 4 trading, but there are 2 non-active ones in behind that. So there's only position here for 6 trading pairs. The account we're looking at was deposited with 0.7 Bitcoin on the 31st of May this year, 0.7. And that account grew from 0.7 to 0.74, 0.79, 0.81. That's what you see on the screen, but it didn't stop there. It continued to grow in May, June, July, August, September, October. It went up to 8.2, 8.4, 8.6. I know many people on this call started following this account at 0.88, 9.1, 0.93, 9.6, 9.9. And I would say less than a week ago, it's gone to 1 full Bitcoin. So many people have followed the journey of that product, where 0.7 of a Bitcoin has grown to 1 full Bitcoin, and therefore the profit element is 0.3 Bitcoin. Let's find out what that's worth today. Please tell me, how much is 0.3 Bitcoin in US dollars, please?
As of the 4th of November 2025, 0.3 Bitcoin is approximately $33,231 US dollars. Please note that cryptocurrency prices are highly volatile and can change rapidly. For the most current rates, consider checking a reliable financial news source or cryptocurrency exchange. That was from ChatGPT. Check important info for mistakes.
There you go. As of the 4th of November, that customer enjoyed, was it $33,000? And that's a customer that doesn't know how to trade. That's a customer that doesn't have to sit and watch a screen all day and find out what's happening. That's a customer that doesn't have to introduce other customers. That's a customer that does not need to attend the Zoom. This is your money working for you versus you going out to work for your money. And that's what most of us do. We go out and we trade 40 hours of our week to get a wage, to pay the bills. But if you're lucky enough to get a product that can make the money for you, allowing you more time to spend with your family and your lifestyle, then that's something very, very special. So 0.7 Bitcoin has grown to 1 full Bitcoin. There's people all over the world with a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum, a little bit of BNB, and it's doing nothing. It's just going up and down in value, but it's not increasing. This has the potential to increase your coins and your tokens. So there's about 6 trading pairs there. You can learn more about that at Trade. I just want to give you an overview on that. And even though that customer did 0.7 Bitcoin, there's other customers putting in 1 Bitcoin. There's other customers putting in 2.75. That's $300,000. A bank manager for 17 years. But it's not 2.75 anymore, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not 2.81 anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2.9 and more. I haven't got an update on that account, but can you see that customer wants to bring 2.75 Bitcoin to 5 Bitcoins? 5 Bitcoins they're going for. The first customer was 0.7 to 1. So it really depends on your circumstances. But the good news is you can start these with as little as $100. $100 worth of Bitcoin can get into these bots and let the AI does the work. The AI does the work, not you. It's pretty good. So just to finish tonight, then I'd like to briefly talk about this card. I'm very excited about this card myself. I think it's a fabulous product. It requires no KYC, meaning we don't need to know your name. We don't need to get a passport copy of that from you, nor a driver's license. We don't need a utility bill. This is a non-KYC card. And we do have a KYC version as well. We have a Visa version, and we have what's that other one? MasterCard version. There's different products out there, but this one's pretty cool. You can put up to $100,000 a month without requiring any of documentation. If you do go over 100,000, then they will require the information from you. But who needs 100,000? Not too many, guys. Not too many. It is Apple Pay and Google Pay enabled. In fact, in test period here, somebody said that the Apple Pay version is under review right now because they're creating native apps on Apple and Google Pay. You can see on the bottom right hand of your screen. They're also the test net is launching now for some of the leadership in the community to try and test the exchange. That's coming up soon, and to test the apps for the neobank as well. So some of you might be privileged to get a call from the company, from the marketing team, to ask, would you like to pilot a test on the exchange that launches and test the apps as well. So we're in this test phase, as I said earlier. We're wrinkling out, getting ready for growth, checking the servers, testing all of these things. So please be patient. Please understand this is the period you're in, and let's keep moving. To put the money onto this card costs 2.2%. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think any exchange is going to cost 3, 4, or 5%. So to be able to do this, so stop the bot and put your money on the card. Gives you somewhere to spend your money. Or if you have any of affiliate incomes, you can put it onto the card. You don't have to. You can remove to any other wallet, but having this ability, this flexibility, to have somewhere where you can spend cryptocurrency, because that's the problem. There's two problems. First problem is, how do I get cryptocurrency? People don't know how to do that. The second problem is, well, if I do have all this crypto, how do I use it? Who accepts it? Where can I spend it? Well, we have that solution already. This is called the off-ramp solution. The on-ramp solution will be in-house in our ecosystem once the exchange launches, where you can bank wire straight into the Aurum exchange, convert it to USDT, and pop it onto one of the bots or pop it onto the card. In fact, you can pop it onto the card now. So if you've got currency sitting around in some other exchange, you could just import that USDT to your Aurum account, press top up, and send it straight onto this, which is really cool. So without having to find an exchanger, without having to go and talk to somebody to cash out, this product is sensational. And also, if you thought this was a good idea, it's even going to get better, because they're looking now at developing a cashback situation where some businesses will be able to offer us 1%, 2%, or 3% cashback on product sales. Other companies which have bigger margins will be able to offer us 10% cashback. And of course, they're going to build in a loyalty program on top as well. I've already said it's available on the Visa rails and what's called the MasterCard rails. There are going to be 4 cards ultimately when it's all ready to kick off, starting from as little as $33 to get one of these with no monthly fees. How does that sound? The next card will be $66, the next will be $99, but the one we have right now that we're testing is the Aurum Infinity card. It's $249. Fabulous price point, no KYC, lowest loading fees, a lot of commission available on it, and you can put up to 100,000. It's got the best limits. Well, you can learn more about that on our training. We're in danger of getting into too much detail for a new listener, but I like to give as much facts as I possibly have. But really, this presentation is an overview of what's going on in the company, and the little bit of due diligence we've done, and the relationship with the Visa, and testing the products and showing you all of these things. That's the idea. And that's what we're trying to achieve tonight, that there's something exciting going on here. But what about you sharing this with somebody? And let's say your best friend got one of these cards and they went for coffee tomorrow morning and you made a little bit of commission. How would that feel? Somebody had a coffee, you got paid. What if that same customer went to the ATM machine and withdrew $200 and you just got paid? And what if they went to the gas station, filled up the car, grabbed some milk and bread for the house, and you got paid again? And then they went home that evening and bought some clothing online, or maybe booked a holiday online, and you got paid again. How does that sound? So if you come to my training on a Sunday evening, I have a little hypothetical model that can show you how this could be a brilliant standalone product by itself, even without any of the other other products. They're also going to introduce some educational products as well, I believe, to teach people a little bit about this Web3 space. Like people like, what is blockchain? What is decentralized exchanges? What is centralized exchange? What is terahash? What is blockchain? What, you know, all of those terminologies. They're going to develop a whole education platform. Brian Benson told me that he thinks there's so many people going to get into this space. They need this education, and they're going to offer that, you know, and maybe even for $100, I'm only making this up, but even for $100, you get this whole education package and $100 to trade at the same time. The same $100 trades and gives you the education. So we can lead with the education, which would be great, because some markets, you know, they mightn't be able to do these fintech products. I don't know which countries you live in or where this is compliant. But if you led with education or led with the card and not the trading products, this might be a nice way to naturally move into those markets as regulations improve. Now, regulations is a good thing, guys. It's there to protect us, the consumer, you know, it's coming, no doubt. People are starting to adopt it. I think since the Trump administration, there's been a very positive slant on this cryptocurrency. But this project we're looking at tonight is sensational. I want to show you this card working. You can see there's no name on the card. This is USDT cryptocurrency. The bot was stopped. The USDT was sent onto this card, and John was sent to the shop to get some milk. Let's see, does it work?
Here we go then. Second official transaction.
No, purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Mina.
So there you go. Cryptocurrency spent in a predominantly fiat world. So with that said, guys, that is our presentation over tonight.
Here we go.
I want to thank you all for attending. Please do get back to the person that shared this information with you. Get your very valid questions answered. That's important. And if you like what you see, by all means, go get your account funded. The sooner you do that, the sooner you'll have your profits. In fact, if you can do it before midnight tonight, there's a possibility you'll receive your first profits tomorrow. And that will be exciting. If you need to think about it overnight, well, then you're not going to get any profit tomorrow. The good thing about our product is you'll find that every single customer that is active with a product is making money every single day. I'll say it again. Every single customer that's tried our product is making money every single day. Why not you? Why not you? So that's it again. Thanks again for joining us. We do this Monday to Thursday. We do a little bit of training on a Sunday. We also have an affiliate program. I don't know if you're interested in that. It's totally optional. There's no obligation to have to do that part of it. It's Binance have an affiliate program. Apple have an affiliate program. Amazon have an affiliate program. And guess what? Aurum have one too. It's not multi-level marketing. That's the good news. And for those of you who'd like to sit on for a moment or two, I can share that idea with you. Guys, we have 209 customers. We broke the record. I don't know where it was 190. It's now 208. I lost one there a second ago. It was 209 and now it's 208. Well done to all of you guys. Now, and do get back to, if your customer doesn't ring you, you need to ring your customer. You need to say, listen, I appreciate you coming on to the information tonight. Have you decided which bot you'd like to try first? That's what you say. Hey, thanks for listening. Have you decided how much you'd like to fund in that EXI bot? Wasn't it fantastic? That's your question. You don't say, what did you think of that? You know, are you ready? You know, so you start positive, you say, thank you so much for attending the presentation tonight. Have you already decided how much you'd like to put in the EXI bot? That's what I said. They go, well, I was thinking about, well, what did you do? And funny enough, people will do what you do. If you do 100, they'll do 100. If you do 5, they'll do 5. If you do 1,000, they'll do 1,000. So think about that too, guys. So anyway, I'm not here to influence anybody. I'm here just to share the information. It's entirely up to you to do your own homework, your own due diligence, because you're big enough, you're old enough, and you're ugly enough to make your own decisions. Isn't that right, Dad? Dad's up there at the minute. So rest in peace. Now let's run on and show some of you the. I just want to see how many stayed. No way. 207 people have stayed on. wouldn't you expect half the customers to leave? And so you want to see the partner program. So this is really, really cool. Just like Binance, what Binance used to do, Binance gave you $5 if you shared your referral link. Now everybody gets a referral link. It doesn't cost anything to do this. Okay, it's free. It's part of your account. You get this referral ID. It's up to you if you use it. If you don't use it, that's okay. It's okay. But if you thought it was a good idea, you like the products and you want to share it, what Aurum will do is they will give you a thank you bonus. Okay, I call it a thank you bonus. They will give you a reward because they didn't spend money on television. They didn't spend money on Google ads, on Facebook. They didn't spend money on the radio. They didn't spend money on the Super Bowl. They take that marketing budget and they share it with their customers. I think that's very good. Now, as a new customer, we call you Nova. New. Nova means new. You get 3% on the deposit made by any of the customers you refer. Very simple. You could have one customer, you could have two, you could have 9, you could have 90. Doesn't matter. And you don't have to have any. This is optional. Now, there only is one rule. You must have $100 trading in the account yourself. Why? Why? How could you recommend a restaurant or a movie if you haven't seen it? How could you recommend this product if you didn't try it? So $100 in the product, that makes you eligible for 3% on any customers you refer. And that's all an affiliate program is. What you see below is not levels. It's not multi-level, 7 levels, 10 levels. No, none of that nonsense. This is volume-based. This is volume-based on all of the customers. So you get paid on the customers, but you also get a volume bonus on all of the customers. And there is no levels. It's unlimited volume. Whether a customer is 2,000 levels down or 5 million levels down or next door, you get paid on the volume. But what we do have is ranking systems. And the ranks or the career levels or the legacy levels called here is just like traditional workplace. So normally you start as a supervisor and you get promoted to manager, area manager, director in standard traditional business. This is the same. Nova, Voyager, Vanguard, Vanguard Pro. It's just a ranking title. And it's a pay rise. Every time you rank up, you get a pay rise. So let's show you how to get a pay rise. The first pay rise is Voyager. You need 7,500 in the total team. So not multi-level, all volume. Your customers, their customers, their customers, their customers, their customers. Or maybe only one customer does 7,500. You got yourself qualified as a manager. We call it Voyager. Now you get 5% on deposits, not 3. You used to get 3. Now you get a pay rise. Very simple. You also get all of your money back. How does that sound? You're now risk-free. In this model, in this example, we talked about starting with $100. The company give you back your $100. That's up to you what you do with that. You can put it on the card and spend it. You can withdraw to a wallet of your choice. You can add it to the trading bot to grow your $100, or you can do nothing. Let it sit there and look at it. That's the 4 things you can do. But there's another bonus as well. You get 5% every day, matching bonus. We call it profit from the team profit. Matching bonus every day on all of your customers to infinity generations in depth on their profits. So it's only based on profit. So if a customer makes some profit, if a customer makes $100 today, you get $5. It doesn't have to be your customer. It could be their customer, their customer, their customer. It doesn't matter where the customer is. You're getting 5% every day on the profit they make. But here's what's also good, guys. Imagine you put in $100, but one of your customers put in a Bitcoin. You don't have any Bitcoin. They put in the Bitcoin. You get 5% on the profit that customer makes on Bitcoin. Or maybe a different customer's put in a little bit of BNB they found on an exchange doing nothing. It was just sitting, BNB just sitting there. They popped it over here and the BNB started to make profit. You would start generating a portfolio of coins in BNB, for instance, or Ethereum. So this is really, really cool as well. But who wants 5% when there's 7% available? How do you go 7%? You got to go to Vanguard. You need $25,000 in total team trading volume in the EXI bot. You get a 500 cash bonus, and now you get 7.5%. So all of these titles across the top, you can see them there yourself. It's very, very simple affiliate program. It's volume based, not levels. These are ranks at the site. It's not 1 level, 2 level. There's nothing to do with levels. It's ranks. It probably should be the other way around, going up the ways, up the ranks. And there are 15 of these ranks. But we've people on the call have got $1,000 bonuses, $2,000 bonuses, $10,000 bonuses. And our good friend from London is just about to get his $10,000 bonus in the next couple of days. So that's very, very exciting for going prime. And of course, there are 8 more ranks. You can get a 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 150, $500,000 bonus. Is this crazy? You know, some people don't understand it, but what did Brian Benson say to us? He wants to create 1,000 millionaires. Well, all you need to do is make your way to Dominion, and I can guarantee you, you're a millionaire. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And Lee, who's on our call tonight, he hit the magnet rank in 4 months from a get-go, from a start. 4 months to go magnet. 2 months later, he's hit Mythos. Just did that last week, where he got himself a $100,000 bonus. 2 more ranks to go. Legend Dominion. Millionaire. Why? Because somebody picked up the phone and asked him a question. Would you do me a favor? Would you have a look at this company for me? That was it. Never described him. It was never explained to him. Would you do me a favor? You go and check out this company for me. Lee was big enough to go and look at it and went, looks good to me. I'm ready to get started. That's all you have to do. Share the information. Let people make up their own mind. You'll not make anybody's mind up. Let them make their mind up. All right. And with that said, I wish you every success, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being with us. We've just done less than an hour. We didn't start until 5 past. So I want to thank everybody for attending tonight. Come and see us again tomorrow night, same time, same link. If you've made your decision, let's get going. If you haven't, ring the person and share this link with you and thank them anyway. Just say, hey, listen, I watched that. It sounded great, but not for me right now. Thanks for the invite. Do that at least. If you don't ring them, they're ringing you. And you know what they're going to say to you? Have you decided how much you'd like to put in the AXI bot? Have you decided which of those bots you'd like to try first? That's what they're going to ask you. All right. Anyway, thanks again. See you soon. Bye. Ciao.